Um, well, there's definitely a mind-body connection, and I've seen this over thousands of cases that's come across my table. And one particular story that stands out the most for me, it was this 42-year-old woman that came in for chronic constipation. She went about 15 minutes without anything being released. And I said, you're in a holding pattern. Would you like to access what's going on? Because I like to get first a permission before going down this path. And she was ready. And she said, yeah, I'd like to know too why I'm in a holding pattern. I said, okay, this work sometimes moves very intuitionally, so I will give you a word. And what came up for me was the word nurturing. So I phrased it in a sentence for her, and I said, what do you consider the most nurturing aspect to your life? And she thought a minute, 2 minutes went by, she started welling up with tears, and she was starting to emote. And I said, I gave her permission. I said, release takes many forms, including crying. So as she let herself emote and get in touch with the emotional holding pattern that was there, I said, what is the picture? She says, I'm in this crib-like bed. I've pooped in my pants. I'm now spreading it on the walls. I said, where's your mother in all this? She's just standing by the door. She's coming in to help me with a wet towel. And I said, zoom in like a camera lens. See your mother's facial expression. What is it? She says she's very loving. She's very nurturing. And more tears. And she says she realized after a while, she says, now this is the last vision of my mother, because she died in an auto crash soon after that. And I was raised by nannies and my father, who was a doctor. I said, I want you to see the insight for what it is now. The correlation here of the recreation of constipation as a way of reuniting, reconnecting with your mother's love and nurturance. Because that's your last memory of her. She says, yes, it is my last memory of her. And after so much emoting, during the time she emoted, the tubes literally filled up. 42 inches of tube plus the viewing tube all came out with so much sludge moving out of her. And she told me at the end, she says, Natalie, after she gave me a large hug, and she says, I want you to know you've helped me so much. I've been in 12 and a half years of psychoanalysis, and no one has ever touched on this aspect. Wow. And you've put a huge missing puzzle to the picture for me, because I now realize why I've been so constipated all these years, holding on to my mother's last vision of her.